it is. But the other thing I wanted to touch on was this thing here, and we talked about this on the last pod, but WB Games says it plans to double down on live services despite Suicide Squad failing to meet expectations. Speaking of Suicide Squad, what is Warner Brothers doing? What is Warner Brothers doing? Because this literally makes no sense to double down on live service games. Why are we doubling down on it? I think that the best idea would be to just stop with the live service games. Let whatever we're doing Suicide Squad all these seasons, just cut it out and don't double down on it and put it in more video games. Like, this literally makes no sense. And we talked about this before on the last pod with DX. Why are 90% of gaming studios making live service games? How does this make sense in terms of all of these games are going to be vying for your attention? And they're all live service games. They aren't just one and done type of games. All right, you put it down and then you'll go on to another game. It's no way that you can hold a gamer's attention for all of these live service games at once. That's just not going to be sustainable. There are going to be some games that people are going to literally abandon within a week, maybe a month if you're lucky. I don't think that there's anything super innovative or different that all these companies could do with any one of these franchises that will keep people for a very long amount of time. Like, that's not something that every single company can do. And I said it on the pod, I don't want this to be like the downfall of the video game industry, because now we're in a new meta. We're in a new meta now. Like, we've been through the MOBA meta, we've been through the battle royale meta, we've been through, which we're still going through, and it seemed like this is the only meta that's surviving right now, is the Dark Souls meta. Like, I actually like the Dark Souls meta, I'm not gonna lie. We're also kind of doing it's like small, it's not as large, but we're doing the feudal Japan type of action adventure type of thing too. So we're seeing a lot more games like that, which again I love too. I'm not gonna hate on those two, Dark Souls and the feudal Japan type of action game. So and now we're in the live service. We've been doing live service. I think obviously one of the biggest games live service space has been Destiny 2, or Destiny and Destiny 2, but now everybody's trying to do it, and I don't think that that's a good idea, because again, not like Destiny and Destiny 2 struggle. Like, we've seen them struggle, and I just don't see why this needs to be a thing. Why can't we just let people have fun in the game and then just leave it alone? I don't understand why we are just constantly trying to find ways to increase the longevity of games that don't need to extend. They really just don't need to extend at all. So I was looking at the story, we're talking about like Hogwarts Legacy. Like, they were saying that was a hit, but Suicide Squad wasn't. And it was saying like Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and DC, and they're wanted to expand the mobile and multi-platform free to play space. So and literally, like, as this article came out, then we seen the Multiverses Twitter. They were like, yo, the testing, like, is this thing going? I'm like, here y'all come, man. Here y'all come. Y'all trying to come back, because that was a model that y'all were doing, like the free to play live service type of thing. And they died pretty quickly, but it looks like they're about to try to revive themselves and see what's going to happen. I don't think that it's going to turn out well for them. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to turn out well for them, but I will keep an eye to see what Warner Brothers does with multiverses, if that is truly the thing that they want to try to do that again. But I'm like, yeah, that's perfect timing. That's definitely perfect timing that y'all tweeting again, and possibly going to release some more news on multiverses and what y'all going to do on that. But I just don't understand. So they said here within the studio segment, we're doubling down on games as an area where we think there is a lot more growth opportunity that we can tap into with the IP that we have and some of the capabilities on the studio side, where we're uniquely positioned as both a publisher and a developer of games. It said this pivot will see the company emphasizing in live service offerings too. And this person, Parat, is interested, for example, in creating an ongoing project set in the world of Harry Potter. So again, what does that tell you? They're trying to make a Harry Potter live service game. I mean, if it's an MMO, like a true MMO, maybe it'll be cool. But again, just doing live service just because like you see this as what people like. No, it's like it really you're just doing it for your own greed at this point, because you just had a big flop with Suicide Squad trying this route, and you're like, oh man, forget it. We're gonna just do it with another IP, and maybe people will like that instead. So instead of Suicide Squad with DC, now they're gonna do it with Harry Potter. That's what I'm just seeing this ad. They're like, well, Harry Potter did great, so let's go ahead and try with that, man. Let's just make another. Like, nah. I don't see that. But yeah, they literally said this as a live service where people can live and play and build and in the world that's on an ongoing basis. So be expecting that, man. Don't be surprised you see live service, MMO, Harry Potter, or just maybe make the same Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy, just make that into a live service and like add on to it or something. So I don't know, but I'm not a fan of this. I'm totally not a fan of this live service aspect, and I just don't want it to ultimately just kill the industry, because we're chasing a genre, we're chasing a meta that's just not sustainable, and it's not going to be able to catch every gamer's attention. It's not for a long term. Like, we've seen so many games that were about to come out that just what's the point? What's the point of making it? We don't have more money, we have no more resources, we're just going to cut the game out, and or just kill the studio. So we've seen that a lot over the past couple of years, man. Everybody's going through rifts, everybody's going through layoffs, and games and studios or whole departments are getting cut in the process. So it's spooky. It's definitely spooky out here in the gaming industry. I hope that obviously can survive, but we shall see. But it's not looking good right now. I mean, obviously 2024, as far as the games that are coming out, look good, but it's just going to be looking at like the future outlook in like the next couple of years, maybe next 5 years, to see like if anything's going to drastically change in the gaming industry. Like, what are we going to look like? I truly don't know. I don't know yet, but obviously we'll keep reporting on it. We'll keep talking about it on the pod. So we shall see. What up, Grump? You said Dragon Dogma 2 looks like the one.